Why luxury cars are so expensive to maintain. People see a used BMW, Mercedes, Audi, or Lexus for the same price as a new economy car and think, why would I buy a basic car when I can get a luxury one for the same money? On the surface, it makes sense. Nicer interior, more power, tons of features, same price on the listing. But here's the part nobody tells you. The purchase price is only the entry ticket. The maintenance and repair costs are what really separate luxury cars from normal cars. And if you get that wrong, you can end up owning a $10,000 car that slowly eats another $10,000 in repairs. If you want to understand what you're really signing up for before buying a luxury car, you're in the right place. Subscribe, because every car has a story, and we're here to decode it. Let's break down exactly why luxury cars are so expensive to maintain from an engineering and real-world perspective, and how you can tell if owning one makes sense for you. Number 1. More complexity equals more things to break. From an engineering perspective, luxury cars are built to deliver more of everything. More comfort, more performance, more safety features, more tech and gadgets, more adjustability and customization. That more comes with a cost, complexity. Instead of one basic suspension setup, you get adaptive dampers, air suspension, adjustable ride height, and active anti-roll bars. Simple seats, you get multi-way power seats with memory, heating, cooling, massage, and inflatable bolsters. A basic audio system, you get 10 to 20 speakers, amplifiers, subwoofers, and noise-canceling systems. Basic climate control, you get dual or quad-zone systems with sensors everywhere and complicated blend doors. Every added motor, sensor, module, and hydraulic line is another potential failure point. On a cheap car, the window switch controls one motor. On a luxury car, that same door might have window motor, power folding mirror motor, memory seat position switch, ambient lighting strips, blind spot sensor wiring, soft close door mechanism, speaker wiring, and amplifier connections. That's just one door. When you multiply this level of complexity across the whole car, engine, suspension, electronics, interior, the probability of something going wrong somewhere over 10 to 15 years goes way up. And when it does fail, parts and labor aren't often cheap. Number 2. Expensive parts by design. Luxury brands don't just use more parts, they often use more expensive parts. Higher-end materials, like real leather instead of cloth or vinyl, wood, aluminum, carbon fiber, or high-quality plastics. More intricate trim pieces and mechanisms. More high-level components. Big performance brakes instead of simple small rotors. Complex multi-link rear suspensions instead of simple torsion beams. Stronger transmissions designed to handle higher torque, turbochargers or superchargers on many models. From an engineering perspective, these parts are often more precisely made, built to tighter tolerances, specific to that model or platform, not shared across lots of cheap cars. That's good for performance and feel. It's bad for your wallet when something wears out. A simple example. A basic economy car might use basic shock absorbers that cost relatively little each. A luxury car with adaptive dampers might cost 4 to 10 times as much per corner when those dampers fail. Or brakes. A normal compact car might use small, simple brake rotors and pads. A luxury performance sedan might use huge ventilated rotors, specialty pads, and sometimes multi-piston calipers. Bigger, more capable hardware equals more expensive to replace, and you usually can't just downgrade to cheaper parts without breaking the car's systems or triggering warning lights. Number 3. Labor time. Everything is harder to reach. From a mechanic's point of view, luxury cars are often a nightmare for access. Tightly packed engine bays, layers of covers, shields, and trim. More components crammed into the same space. Why does that matter? Because labor time is a huge part of maintenance cost. On a basic car, replacing something like a starter, alternator, or water pump might be relatively quick, a couple of hours, maybe less. Fewer things to remove and reinstall. On some luxury cars, the same job can be 2, 3, or 4 times the labor time, requiring removal of additional components, subframes, or body panels. There are even jobs on certain luxury models where mechanics have to drop the engine and transmission, remove the front clip, bumper, radiator support, headlights, lower a rear subframe for suspension or differential work. Every extra hour in the shop is money out of your pocket. It's not that mechanics are greedy. From an engineering standpoint, the car is just more complex to work on. The labor time is real. Number 4. Tighter tolerances, higher performance, less margin. Luxury cars often chase performance and comfort at the same time. High horsepower and torque, refined, smooth operation, fast shifting transmissions, quiet, isolated cabins, advanced turbo and emission systems. To achieve this, engineers use tighter clearances, more precise control systems, higher operating pressures and temperatures in some areas, more aggressive tuning. That can be fantastic when everything is perfect and the car is new, but as the car ages, those precise systems can be less tolerant of dirty or wrong fluids, deferred maintenance, cheap aftermarket parts, or minor neglect. In many luxury drivetrains, contamination or ignoring fluid changes can do more damage more quickly than on simpler, lower-stress engines. Things like turbochargers coking up from cheap oil or long oil change intervals, high-pressure fuel pumps wearing out, direct injection carbon buildup on intake valves, advanced emissions components like NOx sensors, SCR catalysts, or EGR coolers failing. All of that can be brutally expensive, especially out of warranty. Number 5. Electronics everywhere. Modern cars in general have a lot of electronics. Luxury cars take that and multiply it. You might have dozens of control modules, complex CAN bus networks and fiber optic loops, fully digital instrument clusters, night vision systems, radar, cameras, LiDAR, parking sensors, active safety systems like lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control, head-up displays, gesture controls, and complex infotainment. From an owner's perspective, this is cool. The car feels high-tech, modern, and loaded with features. From a long-term ownership perspective, you've just added a huge number of expensive, sensitive components that don't age the same way steel and rubber do. Electronics can be sensitive to heat, moisture, and vibration, difficult to diagnose without brand-specific tools, and extremely expensive to replace when integrated into larger assemblies. For example, a failed MMI or command or iDrive control unit in a German luxury car can cost well over $1,000 to replace and program. A digital gauge cluster might be integrated with multiple systems and cost far more than an old-school analog cluster. A malfunctioning radar sensor in the bumper could disable multiple driver assist features and require careful recalibration. On a basic car, an electrical failure might mean a window switch or simple radio goes bad. On a luxury car, the same age and environment might take out a control module that ties multiple systems together. Number 6. Dealer dependence and specialized tools. Another factor, where you have to go and what tools are needed. Luxury brands often lock down certain programming functions to dealer tools, require proprietary diagnostic software to fully troubleshoot issues, and use proprietary procedures for calibration and coding. Independent shops can absolutely work on luxury cars, and many do, but not all independents invest in the high-end scan tools and subscriptions needed to do everything. Some complex repairs or updates practically require a dealer visit, and labor rates at dealers are usually higher, especially for luxury brands. So your options are narrower and the average cost per hour is higher. Compare that to a basic economy car where almost any decent shop can handle most issues. Tools and parts are cheap and widely available. There's a huge knowledge base and aftermarket support. With luxury models, the path is narrower and pricier. Number 7. Consumables are bigger and pricier. People often forget about the basic stuff: brakes, tires, fluids, filters. But luxury cars usually run larger wheels with lower profile, high-performance tires, bigger, higher performance brakes, more complex fluid specs. Tires. A basic compact car might use 15 or 16-inch tires that are cheap and last a long time. A luxury sedan or SUV might sit on 19, 20, or even 21-inch tires, often with performance compounds and staggered sizes. Result:
Each tire can cost 2 to 4 times as much as an economy car tire, and they may wear out faster, especially on powerful, heavy cars. Brakes, bigger ventilated rotors, sometimes drilled or slotted, multi-piston calipers, expensive pads. Replacing rotors and pads on a luxury performance sedan can easily cost several times what it would be on a small economy car. Fluids. Some luxury drivetrains use specific, expensive synthetic fluids for the engine, transmission, differential, and transfer case. Skipping or cheaping out on these can cause real damage, so you're kind of locked into the expensive stuff. Multiply that over years and your basic maintenance is already significantly higher.
Here's where a lot of people get sucked in. Luxury cars depreciate fast. A car that was $70,000 new might be $20,000 or less after 8 to 10 years. That looks like a bargain next to a new $20,000 economy car. Same price on the used market, completely different original segment. But here's the catch. The economy car's maintenance and repair costs stay in economy car territory. The luxury car's maintenance and repair costs stay in luxury territory, even if its resale value has dropped. From the car's perspective, it's still a $70,000 machine with $70,000 car parts and complexity, being maintained on a $20,000 car budget. That mismatch is where people get burned. They thought, I got a great deal on a used BMW, Mercedes, Audi, or Jaguar, etc. Then, $1,800 suspension repair, $1,200 infotainment or module issue, $2,500 transmission or turbo problem, $1,000 plus brake job. Suddenly, that cheap luxury car is more expensive to own year to year than a brand new basic car with warranty. Number 9. Brand philosophy. Comfort and performance over simplicity. Another layer. What the brand values. Most mainstream brands aim for adequate comfort, adequate performance, simple, robust engineering, and lower running costs. Luxury brands often aim for maximum comfort, strong performance, cutting-edge tech, image, and feel. From an engineering perspective, that often leads to design choices like air suspension instead of steel springs, multi-link rear suspension instead of a simple beam, turbocharging or twin charging for power with smaller engines, heavier sound deadening and complex structures for quiet cabins, and complex HVAC to manage multi-zone comfort and defogging. All of that feels fantastic when new, and much of it is very well engineered. But when you combine complexity, age, and deferred maintenance, the potential bills go up fast. Number 10. Can luxury cars be owned smartly? With all that said, owning a luxury car doesn't have to be financial suicide. It just requires being realistic. You can stack the odds in your favor by choosing the right model and drivetrain. Research engines and transmissions with good long-term reliability. Avoid known problem children. Every brand has a few. Buy the best maintained example, not the cheapest. Full service records, recent big services already done, and clean inspection from a shop familiar with that brand. Budgeting realistically. Assume maintenance and repairs will be significantly higher than a normal car. Set aside money monthly for future work. Using a good independent specialist. Labor is usually cheaper than the dealer. They know common issues and real fixes. They can often save you money with smart part choices. Not overbuying. Don't buy more car than you can afford to maintain. A simpler, older Lexus can be far cheaper to live with than a fully loaded German flagship from the same year. So, why are luxury cars so expensive to maintain? Putting it all together, they're more complex, they use more expensive parts and materials, they pack in far more electronics and features, they chase performance and comfort with less margin for neglect. They rely more heavily on dealer-level tools and expertise, and their consumables, tires, brakes, and fluids are bigger and pricier. And when they get old and cheap to buy, their original luxury-level running costs don't magically shrink. None of this means luxury cars are bad. They can be amazing machines, but from an engineering and financial perspective, they're like owning a high-end watch or a performance boat.
You don't just buy it once, you pay to keep it happy. If you treat a luxury car like an appliance and ignore maintenance, it will remind you, very expensively, that it's not an appliance. If this helped you understand what's really behind luxury car ownership, subscribe, because in future videos, we're going to break down specific models and brands, which luxury cars you can own without going broke, and which ones you should only touch if you like gambling with repair bills. I'm GearHead. Every car has a story, and together, we're going to decode it.